Hello, I Love Lucy friends. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is KJ Ricardo, and today's episode is a production spotlight on some behind the scenes secrets from I Love Lucy. So a lot of this information came from the official I Love Lucy scrapbook by Elizabeth Edwards. I have featured this scrapbook many times on my channel. I truly recommend buying this scrapbook because it is so interactive and really interesting. It provides so much behind the scenes facts about I Love Lucy. So we're going to continue to look at it. Today we're looking at the Lucy-Desi Comedy Hour special, The Celebrity Next Door. This episode features guest star Tallulah Bankhead. She is phenomenal in this episode, but there are a lot of behind the scenes facts about the making of this special. It was actually quite difficult to make this episode. So this is one of the few comedy hour specials that takes place entirely in Connecticut without any musical numbers. It feels the most like an episode of I Love Lucy. The episode turned out to be a real doozy to make. It was originally supposed to star Bette Davis, who was once Lucy's classmate in dramatic school. Other considerations were William Holden and Gary Cooper. Bette asked for star billing, a $20,000 salary, and plane fare from home. Lucy and Desi were going to obey these wishes, but in June 1957, Bette filed for divorce, and she fell off a horse and cracked a vertebrae in her back. And so she wasn't able to appear in the episode. So the writers rewrote the story for Tallulah Bankhead. Lucy and Desi were afraid the studio audience wouldn't recognize Tallulah, who was primarily known as a stage actress. However, her entrance applause was so enthusiastic that it actually had to be edited.
Oh, how do you do, darling?
In the episode, Lucy asks Fred and Ethel to play their maid and butler when Tallulah is invited over for dinner. This is very reminiscent of when Lucy played a maid to the Mertzes in the I Love Lucy episode, Mertz and Kurtz. There is a mistake in this episode. The script mentions several of Tallulah's stage credits. Ethel says she has seen her in these plays. However, several of these plays were London productions only. They weren't on Broadway in New York. So unless Ethel had been to London more times than she admits on the show, this is a mistake. Another mistake is when Lucy storms out of Tallulah's kitchen in a very famous scene from this episode. She slams the door and the drawstring to the window blind sways back and forth through the window, so there isn't any glass in the window frame, and so that's a big mistake there. In another scene, the script called for Tallulah to get covered in paint by a paint sprayer. She surprised everyone on set by wearing sunglasses and a head covering to protect herself from the paint. Tallulah Bankhead wasn't really much of a physical comedian, and so this was her way of protecting herself, but it kind of surprised everyone on set. It's reported that Vivian Vance admired Tallulah's slacks during a production meeting, and so Tallulah took off her pants and gave them to Vivian, and then she sat down naked, and that's kind of interesting as well. Tallulah was notoriously difficult to work with while making this episode. She was drunk almost every day during the rehearsals, and she was uncooperative. She refused to learn her lines, and Lucy was a perfectionist during the rehearsals, and so their acting styles clashed very much while making this episode. However, on the night of the filming, Tallulah was fantastic. She came together, she performed wonderfully, and watching this episode, you can't tell that there was tension behind the scenes while making this episode. That's true professionalism, where you can have tension and drama, but you can still put forward your best effort to entertain an audience. And so I just truly enjoy this episode because you can't tell what was going on behind the scenes. You didn't know that there was tension between Lucy and Desi and Tallulah Bankhead because when you watch the episode, it's just so funny. Tallulah Bankhead is wonderful in this episode, and I'm so glad that she showed up. She wasn't drunk, and she did her best, and that's just wonderful to watch. And so I hope that you enjoyed this production spotlight, learning a little bit more about the making of this Lucy-Desi Comedy Hour special. Maybe you didn't know that there was tension behind the scenes. And so let me know what you enjoyed best about this video, and I would be happy to read that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time with another video. And remember to always laugh often.